Good morning. Good morning. Yes. How is everyone? RT Bear here, Hack Shack Studios. I am almost 40 years in this wacky industry that we all know and love, this comic book world. Mainly working for Marvel, DC, but did a little time over at Image Comics in the 90s, in the early mid 90s. So yeah, I've been around. I've been around. I am old. I'm a veteran, as they say. I like veteran better than old. Veteran sounds cooler. So yeah, you guys, I was always hoping this day would come. I hope I don't jinx it because we're not quite there yet. But 80K, 80K for black and white. I think we're about 400 shy of 80K. So if we hustle, I can't do it without you. We hustle, get the word out. Maybe by day's end, if we keep going the way we have been, we'll be 80K at the end of the day. And that will be amazing because, gosh, I think we're 6 days out still. So you guys have been predicting and saying, let's get to 100K. There's still a lot of heavy lifting to get to that 100K, but 6 days, who knows, but we can definitely start working towards that 90K. And as soon as my wife gets back, we are going to start brainstorming about the next stretch goal. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm going to run it by her, and I'll run it by you guys real quickly. So what I'm thinking is what's been working real good with CG is art contest. So we can have an art contest. I can't afford to pay you guys like some of these other guys, but what we can do is the winner, we can use the artwork in the campaign. So that's kind of where it's at now. I'm gonna run it by Pamela and see what she thinks. But we can make it into a trading card or into a print or something like that. And so not that I want to get into like, oh, it's exposure bucks, but you get a good cool trading card out of it. And who knows? I mean, when Pamela and I brainstorm, maybe we'll come up with something better. But that's kind of the idea at this point. Yes. All right, we got a sign of life. We got Shadowhawk backs. He sure does back. He backs everything. Oh my gosh, I just got back from our walk. We walked the dog. This is so beautiful here, and it's cooling off here at the Woodlands in Texas. So it's absolutely gorgeous out right now. So yes, we're back for the attack. We got Mike TV Dub. Mike TV Dub. What is up? Good morning, Mike. We got Lord Crackhead 33 Art, a true legend. Ooh. A legend in my own brain. Joe Bernardo, aloha. What is up, my friend Joe? Let's see. You don't really have a party until you have Past Master Dan. Ahoy chat. Yeah, Leg Kick says, hail art. You guys are getting acquainted in the chat. I like that. Yotam, Darkstar, Yotam Darkstar. I like that. Hell 80K. Let's go. Yes. This is amazing, you guys. This is amazing. I mean, there's no way I could do this without your help. So thank you so very much. You guys are so amazing. So the real Steve Dye, we're going to have Steve Dye on in a bit. Art for art. Yeah, we're going to talk about Rocket. Yeah. Like the Def Leppard song. We got Kevin Thompson. Thank you so much, Kevin. And you know why I'm thanking you. I'm gonna do it formally in a little bit when I get some time. Kevin is a huge supporter of the Hack Shack stuff here. Hell, Steve Dye, indeed. Yeah, we're gonna have Steve on, but I didn't want to bore him with just promoting Black and White and just hanging out with you guys. So as soon as you know, I get that done, taken care of. Then we'll get Steve in. Steve's a good guy. What is this? Rocket. Yeah. Oh, that looks like a bomb pop. When I was a kid, I loved bomb pops. So what is it? Blueberry. It's like 7-Up and cherry or something like that. That's the flavors. Yes. Yo, Shadowhawk backs. He sure as hell does. All right, man. Well, let's get to the reason for the season. The black and white man versus machine campaign that you guys have been clamoring about. Yeah. So this is it, you guys. This is Black and White 2, Man versus Machine. This will be the epic origin conclusion. Yes. Let's play the video here.
From RT there comes the exciting conclusion to the Black and White origin saga. 60 pages of pulse-pounding action. In a world where law and order are often blurred to gray, justice can only be black
and white. So good. Yes, you guys, back it today. Let's get this bad boy to 80K by day's end. That would be absolutely phenomenal. We are $400 away, so it's doable. It's doable, and the backer number is 957. So we have 957 backers, you guys. That is fantastic. If we can keep going like this, we'll have 1,000 backers by the end of this campaign. And that is a great, great place to be for these campaigns. And like I've said a million times, I'll continue to say it. Thank you guys so very, very much for making this old man's dream come true. I do appreciate it. And the bad thing, we're only 6 days. We only have 6 days left. I think by 3 o'clock today, we'll be 5 days out. So I do believe Monday of next week, we are going to be closing this thing down. So come in if you like what you see, back a book. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to do too. Like this video here has got a bad, it's got like, Ethan says it sounds like teeth drilling. I dig it. I think it's rocking, man. I like it. Maybe it's because of the drums. I like drums. But to me, it just sounds rocking. We're Law and Order. Are often blurred to gray. Yeah, this is the great Steve Dye. I'm sorry, not Steve Dye. This is Red Gaze putting this video together. Sorry about that, Red Gaze. I'm going to give Steve Dye credit for everything that comes along today. Justice can only be. Yes. I dig this video, man. Yeah, I think Red Gaze did a great job with both of those videos. So happy with that. So also Red Gaze has Sunsworn. I think it's still in demand. So go back that book, right after you back Black and White, and Rocket, then Sunsworn, in that order. This is Man versus Machine. This is the wrap up. This is the origin story wrap up. So Man versus Machine. This is the origin of Black and White. Reed Blackett, aka Black. Whitney Sung, aka White. And if you backed issue 1, you should have that, and you've read through it. You know how that book ends. It ends definitely on a low note. Like this team is at the ultimate just pit, of despair. And so volume 2 is going to take up where that one left off, and we're going to see if these two can put their differences aside and work together as a team. And if they're actually able to form this new form of justice, which is Black and White. So that's where the tagline, in a world where law and order is often blurred to gray, justice can only be black and white. So I want to make it seem like these two together have their own form of dispensing justice. So it's not like because Reed was a spy, so it's not that. It's not being a police officer. It's not being a soldier. It's not any of those things. It's not being a vigilante. It's new. It's a new form of justice. And so as these books progress, you're going to get to see more and more what that is all about. And I think it's going to be really, really entertaining, and it's going to have an original feel to it. I think it already does with what we're building here. But once we're able to kind of continue past the origin story, you're going to get a glimpse at a lot more of that stuff, and you're going to get to see how the team dynamic works. And one of the things that these two, it's not going to be easy for these two to work out their issues. So we're going to continue that kind of tension throughout future stories. So I think that's one of the fun aspects to these two characters. They do have difference. They have difference in opinions. Their ideas aren't always the same. But we're going to get to see how possibly a meeting of the minds, God forbid, in this day and age, two people that have different points of view that can actually form a new idea out of those two. Everything's so polarized these days. But what we're going to see with this team is that they are completely opposite, like the yin yang, but they're going to be able to put those differences aside and work together for the greater good. And that's kind of the yin yang, the tagline. That's what it all kind of represents. And so and then there's just going to be some good fun action adventure. Just a bunch of robot bashing, and I think Joe Fulton, the writer, my co-writer, says just robot gore. We're gonna have like robot gore in this stuff. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, you guys. These two are robot fighters. What you're gonna see is primarily they're robot fighters. And when Reed Blackett worked for MI10, that was the British Secret Service, a division. Take them down and being able to these times. So so this is not too far from future. Maybe 30, 50 years. I didn't really want to date it specifically, but I did want to move it into the future so I could have fun with robots and technology. I'm not a big technology guy, obviously, but I do like sci-fi stories. I like technology type stories. So that's what this pretty much is. And there is a supernatural aspect. So if you've been paying attention to volume 1, there's a rock, and it's kind of supernatural based. So a lot of the supernatural elements, we're not going to spend a lot of time explaining. Just know that supernatural elements do exist in this universe, and just major high tech and super tech will be there as well. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of places we can take these to. There's a lot of action situations. There's a lot of personal situations. I think one of the best parts about Pamela T-Bear and myself, our creations, chrono mechanics or black and white, is I think these characters feel real. I like putting characters first, plot second. Although I don't ignore plot, but I do really like putting characters first. I think that's what people really connect with is characters, their struggle, their strife, something that they can relate to, stuff like that. And so I always try to do that with whether it's black and white or chrono mechanics. And Pamela is really, really good at creating the voices for these characters. Not just specific dialogue, but just like the voice of the characters, how they would speak, how they would react, and things like that. So when her and I write together, I usually just give her suggestions. So I even told Joe Fulton, my co-writer on this, that what we're going to do is we're going to write dialogue, but we shouldn't get too hung up on it because it's all going to be filtered through Pamela. So she usually has like just great instinct with this stuff. And so she'll be able to make sure that these characters speak like the characters, act like the characters, all that sort of stuff. And she's just innate with that. She just really understands these characters. I understand them on a lot of levels, but as far as just the way they would talk, she's got that down. And when she was younger, she studied acting. She was an actress. She had an agent and everything. I should have her talk about that. There's a movie that she actually got the part for. It was one of Brandon Lee's first movies. God, I should get her to talk about this. I just realized this. It was called Laser Blast or Laser Battle or something like that. And even on the cover of VHS. I don't know if they even made it into a Blu-ray. But there's this blonde with big hair, and when I met Pamela, she had this big hair, and I guess everybody had big hair in the early '90s. And so, yeah, the only reason she didn't take the part is because she had to travel. There were various places, and she just really didn't trust the production. So she didn't think it felt legit. And so it was probably very, very low budget. But I do believe it was Brandon Lee's first movie, or one of his first. And so I know that she probably kicks herself now thinking, wow, I could have, been in a Brandon Lee movie, because she absolutely adores him, like all his movies. She really loved The Crow. So R.I.P. Brandon. You went too soon. You went way too soon. So yeah, back on black and white, we have the variant cover by the amazing Kenneth Rocafort. This is for volume 2, you guys. Look at this thing. It's absolutely fantastic. 64 of them been claimed. There's also, it's combined with some of the other tiers. So it's probably like 75 or 80 of these books that have been backed. So thank you guys so much. Everybody here at Comicsgate loves Kenneth Rocafort. And so this was the last entry. This is the incredible Joe Bennett. So as you guys know, it's legendary now. Joe Bennett got canceled at Marvel because of an asshole writer, SJW activist jerk off, and got Joe fired and banned from Marvel. And so I was just kind of talking to him one day and just commiserating, telling him that I got canceled at Marvel and so on and so forth. And so he didn't really want to talk about it too much, and I respect that. He just kind of said, hey, I would like to do a cover for you, with your black and white campaign. And so I was like, hell yeah, Joe Bennett, killer, man. And so Joe and I have a great working relationship. We worked at DC Comics. We did the New 52 Terminator Deathstroke book together, and we did Savage Hawkman together. And so one of the things he was doing on that book is he was giving me more like breakdowns to work from. And those are like pencil breakdowns for you that don't know. They're kind of just loose pencils, not a lot of rendering, sometimes no shadowing, things like that. And so just a lot of indication. And so I asked him if he would do that again, if he'd pencil in that style. And so he's like, "Sure. Are you sure you don't want my Hulk style? Because that's the way I'm working these days." And I said, "No, no, no. Please, please, do that style." I said, because then I can kind of go in and do finishes over it and kind of, make it a little bit mine. Kind of bring it into that black and white world. Kind of put a little T-Bear spin on things. And I think this is a great combination. This is one of those things that. You can definitely see Joe Bennett in there, but you can see my style in there as well. And I'm so happy with the way this cover came out. And then, holy shit, when I announced this in the green room, in the Comicsgate green room, that I got the Joe Bennett cover, Kyle Ritter was like, "I got to color this." He said, "Let me color this." And so I was like, hell yeah, man. And so, yeah, this is the complete cover right here. This was a late addition to the campaign. But look, you guys have already backed 41 of these books. So the Joe Bennett cover is catching up to the Racafort cover. It's only 20 behind. And this came in really, really late. So you guys are really supporting this Joe Bennett cover. I'm sure it makes Joe feel loved. I know when I was let go of at Marvel, it just destroyed me in the moment. I think what doesn't completely destroy you does make you stronger. And so I just left comic books for a couple of years. I started working on developing animation shows and things like that for Hollywood. And that's where Chrono Mechanics came from, you guys. I have a couple more IPs that came out of that 2 years as well. But Chrono Mechanics was the high point. And so I'm kind of glad that CB and David Bogart got uppity and fired me, because Chrono Mechanics would not exist if it wasn't for that. So in a strange way, they did me a favor. So yeah, so then we have the High Octane Adventure here. This is Vaughn Klaus. I got to hang out with Vaughn last night on Eric Weathers' channel. It was a great stream. I always love hanging out with those guys. And Clint Stoker was there as well. So good times. And yeah, Von Klaus turned in a great script here. Pedro Eng just knocked it out of the ballpark with this great animation style. So High Octane is a 22-page black and white animated style, man. Look at this thing. It's fantastic. So we got that. And then we, because you guys were saying, hey, man, I want to have access to the first issue. And so, there are a lot of new people to CG that weren't around for the original campaign. So the original printing was sold out. So we did a second printing with this brand new cover. So you guys are turning this into a big hit as well. So we do have tiers that have combinations of issue 1 and issue 2. And I think there's a combination where you get issue 1, issue 2, and that High Octane Adventures. And so then here is the Greg Capullo variant. Only the right Virgin variant is available, and that is only available in the black and white jam tier. We got story layouts. You can get these here as their own tier and as add-ons. And then we completely sold out of the head sketch tier. So thank you guys so very much for that. And I do think there's still some available as add-ons. So if you guys still want me to draw for you, character of your choice, CG characters would be great to draw. I think one of you guys in the chat was saying you'd like to see a Pit. And then somebody else said Salamandroid. I think that would be incredible to do some CG, my version of CG characters. I think it would be a lot of fun. And you can only get those as add-ons. So then we got the stretch goals, you guys. So 30K trading card, 40K Boom Baby Inko sticker, 50 upgraded cover, 55, upgraded interior paper stock. 60, Phoenix World Rises patch. 65, the PDF of the incredible Joe Fulton and myself's writing. So you're going to get the plot, story breakdown, and then you're going to get my drawings. You're going to get my thumbnails for the in the PDF too. All 64 pages. So these are the pages here. So you're going to get those absolutely free. So if you want an original from that PDF, you can get that as well. But just rest assured that you are going to get all 64 pages of the written story and of the plot breakdowns, the thumbnails. So that is a really cool stretch goal there, and absolutely free, you guys, just for back in the book, all these extra goodies. So 75K is another killer stretch goal. It's the epilogue. So 4 pages will be added to the 64. Actually, they're already added because you unlocked this thing. So now it's a 68-page book with this epilogue. And the epilogue will wrap up the story proper and give you an idea of where Reed and Whitney are going to go from here, as far as potential stories and future stories. So 80K is the one we are looking at. I am fairly confident we're going to get to this thing, hopefully by the day's end, and that will be the UV enhancements on the main cover. So that is going to make this book just look that much better. And it really does look like we're just, a hop, skip, and a jump away from that. So, yeah, we got to come up with a 90K stretch goal. Holy shit, man. That's a good problem to have right there. So, like I said, we may do like a trading card that, like a contest, and whoever wins will get the trading card. Your artwork will be featured on a trading card. So I usually don't go over the tiers, but here's the featured tier. This is the main book. This is volume 1. This is the tier I was talking about. And this is the high octane adventure. So you get volume 1, volume 2, and you'll get the high octane adventure plus a trading card. So any tier with 3 or more books, you'll get a trading card with. And so then here's the main book, 255 claimed. That is incredible. 18 of the second printing, but that's also available in the featured. So that's quite a bit of books for the first printing there. So that's really cool. We got the Inko T-Shirt. You guys, this is Inko is completely CG created. This character came out of a live stream. Taylor and I, who was my writing partner on volume 1 and studio mate over at Hack Shack Studios when it was in California, brilliant talent, just really, really sharp. We were just talking about like a mascot for Hack Shack Studios, and Inko came out of that conversation. And so we just kind of left it at that. We just gave a verbal, like what the character would look like and stuff like that, and maybe have a tagline, that's good ink. And so Elizabeth D. Geek Art just drew up this fantastic version. This is the first visual of Inko ever. So Inko is not going to go away, you guys. As soon as I get some time, we're going to do something with Inko. You guys were even saying like maybe some Inko adventures, like little comic books. So that could be fun, man. Inko statues or Inko figures could be really fun. So yeah, there's the Inko T-shirt, and then we have the Racaport cover, we have the Joe Bennett cover, and then we only have 5 left of the 90s flashback tier. One of the great things about the 90s flashback is, well, it's going out ASAP. So when you order these, you will get them within, probably a week. So these are going out as they're ordered. So that's really good. So you guys could get some black and white reading material before volume 2 is done. So that'll be cool. We have the black and white wraparound T-shirt. This is brand spanking new. This is also as an add-on. So Red Valkyrie, Shay put this together. I think it looks so great. I should make this a bigger image. This little image is a little hard to kind of figure out. But what it is it's the front is Whitney is white, and then she kind of wraps the side panel of the shirt, and then on the back is Reed Blackett, aka Black. So I think that's really cool. So on one sleeve we have the black and white logo, and on the other sleeve we have the Hack Shack Studios logo, and there's the yin yang gun sight like right over the chest there. Just looks fantastic. Just a great design, and available now. So then, yeah, we have the original layout pages. These are the only originals right now for the book. We do have that commissioned here, like I was saying. So then we have the wraparound that's for bigger sizes. And then we have the twofer, which is the main book and the Racquefort. And then we have a threefer here, which is the main book, the Racquefort cover, and the adventures. So this one comes with a trading card as well. And then we have the black and white jam, which is everything with the exception of that Bennett book, which came in later. So this one comes with the main cover, the volume 2 with the new cover on it. We have the Grey Capullo Virgin cover. We have the Racquefort cover. We have the High Octane Adventure, plus the trading card and a mini print. So this thing comes with everything. And if you guys want that that Bennett cover, you can add that on at checkout. So all the books, with the exception of the Grey Capullo variant, you can get as an add-on. You can get the T-shirts as an add-on. You can get the layouts as an add-on as well. So this is it, man. Like I said, this is the reason for the season. 79,600. I should say it that way. We are 400 away from 80K. So that would be just monumental if we can get to that 80K by day's end. And we're rounding up onto that 1,000 backers. So thank you guys so very much. Let's get Mr. Dye in here. Let's invite Stephen Dye and see if we can hang out a little bit. Steve is a great guy. He's got the new book, Rocket. He'll be talking about it. So Steve, if you're still in the chat, I just sent you the link. So you should have that now. And let's go back. So let's see what you guys are saying here. We're going back in time. Vilnid is in the house. I saw your name. Wow, you guys have been busy. Busy. Robo art. Am I roboting? Robots are having their revenge. What's going on? Sweet Mama Jamma. Well, that sucks. I hope it's not roboting still. That sucks. Steve Dye says nice, but only wish I had a Gaze's video skills. Someday. So I do hope it stopped roboting, because if it doesn't, I really don't know what to do. Yes, Lou Ferrigno is trying to silence me. Laser Mission. I knew Joe would know. Yeah, it was Laser Mission. You guys saw that movie? That's pretty cool, man. Drunken Banana. We got the Canuck says, Hell Art, good morning. Hail Art, not hell. Hell. God, I'm getting hungry. Oh, no wonder it's almost lunchtime. Let's see. Leg Kick says, what is now isn't Marvel, it's Disneyville. Yeah, life is changing. And not necessarily for the better. Joe says Marvel and DC Comics are going the way of the dodo bird, meaning extinction. Well, thank you so much, Ort Cloud Clown, Comet Cowboy. Okay, I'll tell you right now, Ort, that name is a dyslexic's nightmare. And I ought to know. Well, guys, got to run, work, take care. Yes. Yeah, do a pit. Well, you guys hired me to do a pit. I'll definitely do one. Snake Dog says, hail art, hail chat. Like chick trash. What is like chick trash? Oh, trick trash. All right, I think we're almost caught up. We're waiting. We're stalling for Steve Dye. Steve Dye to get in here. H-Man, bear. What does that say? Bear paws. Yeah, exactly. Kevin says, I would have bought the T-shirt even if the image was just the yin yang gun sight. Best logo ever. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah. Yeah, that was just one of those moments of inspiration. I just had the idea, and then I was still working with Taylor in the studio at the time, and I just asked her if she could work it up digitally, because I don't work digital for logos and stuff like that. And she just nailed it, man. Just back, dude. 1020 Hell Comics Gate. Holy shit. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, cool. Let me get Steve in here. And then, hey, Steve, how you doing, man?
Good morning.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm good. Is this the first you've heard about going 1,000?
Yeah. Hey, would you mind just for a minute? I'm gonna go share.
No, let's do that by all means. Yeah, I was hoping I wasn't too late to heap praises on black and white. Let's do that.
Oh no, it's never too late. It's never too late. Very cool. So let me hit refresh. Okay, so we're at 957. So 79,600. Yes. Oh, thank you so much. So this is now we're rounding up on 700. So we're, what is that? $308. $308 away from 80K. Holy shit balls. Thank you so very much. Was it House of R? Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And Hell Comics Gate for sure. So
yeah, man, that 1,000 backers is a big number, and yeah, if I may, it's long since time that the legendary Art Bear was well into the six-figure club. So yeah, get out there and back Black and White Volume 2. If you don't have Volume 1, then you really missed out, because that was one of the best books out yet. And I'm pretty stoked on the ability to get the breakdowns and the plot and all that, because as I may expound upon it slightly more, I really like the process of how the comic is built, how the movie is made. So yeah, man, I think everybody should jump on it, make sure they get their hands on that.
Yeah, and everybody at Bax is going to get all that behind the scenes stuff, the PDF. So you're going to get Joe Fulton's writing, and you're going to get my breakdown, my visual breakdown. So yeah, and then you can compare those to the actual book when you get it. So yeah, I dig that stuff too, Steve. So man, it seems like it's been a while. So how have you been?
I've been good, man. I've been good. I'm enjoying the fall weather a bit too. It's getting a bit nippy, down in the low 70s. I'm about ready to break out my hoodies. But yeah, I saw you out walking the pup, and is that the pup? Is Arrow Inko, or do you have two dogs?
No, that's Arrow. Man.
You're feeding it. You're that. He's growing, man. Wow.
He's a monster now.
Wow. He was just in your lap just the other day. About this big.
When we got him, he was like the size of his head, like he was a rat, you know?
Yeah.
And
you're going to be buying the 50-pound sacks of food. Sure.
Yeah. He sleeps in the house. So we bought a pen for him to sleep in because we don't trust him in the house because he'll destroy it. And so we just had to buy a bigger one, you know? So he's just taken over, man. Yeah. And you have dogs too, right?
Good for him. Yeah, I sure do. Yeah. You were out walking yours. I had to throw mine a beating, but you know, it's similar. Yeah.
Yeah, they take over. Not only do they just disrupt things in what seems like a negative way, but they actually slowly worm their way into your heart. So as you're correcting them, you're kind of doing it with love. You know
exactly. Yeah. I do exaggerate, but yeah, it's hard to change as your best buddy. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, once in a while,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but he's growing, man. Good looking
Yeah,
pooch.
this dog is an alpha. So this dog is like a herder mentality.
Right.
So it's weird because it's kind of like how they used to say you have to break a horse,
Yeah,
before,
right.
like a wild horse. Animals, well, you know what? To be honest, I know this is going to sound wrong, but even kids, like children, because I used to say to my friends that had kids, when we first had our daughter. They're like little animals. You know what I mean? Like they're just
Yeah.
instinct. They just do whatever they feel. And so then it is kind of like, you're taming like this monster, this animal, right? To how to behave and how to, you got to socialize them. I guess that's what they call it with animals, right? You got to socialize them.
Yeah, for sure. It can be
Yeah.
daunting though. I've mostly had more herding dogs or bulldogs, and they're pretty trainable. And somehow this Weimaraner that I have now stumbled into my life. And yeah, I quickly grew very attached to it. I won't tell the story, but he's still with me like 10 years later. But nobody told me that they never grew out of their puppy stage. It's like,
Oh, really? Okay.
dude, yeah. Now that he's working on 10, he's calmed down a little bit. But yeah, he wants to go out. He wants to go in. He wants to run at 40 mile an hour down the highway. He
Yep.
wants to do all of that. So,
Yeah. This dog just
yeah, but he's my
off.
boy. He's my boy. It's too late now. I'm stuck with him for a while.
Yeah, that's how we feel. Like,
I'm looking forward to my next puppy, but for now I'm stuck with this one.
yeah. Pamela told me, she's like, we're never gonna get a puppy again.
Oh, yeah.
uh, yeah. This and the thing about like herd animals, dogs, they're really really intelligent. So they can sum you up, man. They
Yeah.
study you, they see you, they observe, and so I constantly feel like it's not just a test of wills, but it's also you have to be smarter than the dog. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's really weird. Like you have to like the when we get along with the dog, Steve. I know we're turning this into the dog.
That's
screen,
fine. We can do this.
it's interesting, man. I
Yeah,
love
yeah, yeah,
dogs.
yeah. We can
Yeah,
totally do
is
this.
that if I'm a step ahead of the pup, everything's fine, right? So
Right.
you know where the dog is, what the dog's doing, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff. But as soon as you lose track of that dog, I guarantee you shit's happening somewhere.
He's up to no good, probably.
Yeah, your favorite jackets get destroyed, your couches get
Yeah. Well, here's hoping and here's to you that he grows out of that. Usually when they get to be about, 18 months or a couple of years old, they start calming down a good bit. That's why I'm not getting another one of these. Yeah, I can't recommend the Weimaraners unless, in fact, I don't currently have 200 acres to just like kick him out and be like, go run it off.
Yeah, we're lucky. Yeah, like this backyard is pretty good size. Like Texas, everything is big here. And that dog, I'll tell you, he makes use of every square inch of this yard. I mean, he is everywhere in this yard, and I could not justify. Like, I would feel so bad if he was contained in a smaller environment.
Yeah.
It would be horrible for him, even though he's not that big yet. They're saying that he might get a size bigger, so we're not looking forward to that.
Well, the way he's growing from how little he was to how big he is now. Yeah. Better cross your fingers. It's going to be a big dog.
We got Ort Clown says puppy stage is fun, but it can be trying at times because it's constant. It's freaking constant. It never stops. Yes. So, we need a link to Rocket. I'll put one in right now. I'll put one in.
Camaro, we're talking about dogs.
Hey, listen, we're talking about dogs here.
Yeah, come on, Camaro. We don't need to appreciate it, but still, dude, we're talking about puppies here. Everybody loves puppies.
Yeah, Steve and I got our priorities.
Yeah.
So, are all your dogs male?
Predominantly, they have been. I've had a few. My granddad was a quarter horse trainer, and then later in life was a hunting dog trainer, and he always prescribed get a female. He's like, your best dog is always going to be, I will use the terms he used. But a female that's been fixed, he's like, that is your best dog. And I tend to agree, but yeah, I'm as misogynist as the next guy. I always want to be like, come here, boy. So yeah.
Yeah, we had a female dog in California, and the thing is, when they pee, they kill things. Like male dogs
Yeah.
can as well. But I pride myself on my yard. I like to go out. I
It's
like to trim things and plant things.
Yeah,
And
it's a
so I
real
wanted a
thing.
dog that wouldn't be that destructive. And also I heard, as far as you said, like a year and a half, they calm down. I also heard if you give them the nip, you get them the clip, they kind of start mellowing out a little bit
It
too.
definitely works. It probably adds to the dog food bill, by the by. They tend to get a little wider and a little less athletic. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Be that as it may, yeah. I mean, female dogs will mark the same spot continually, whereas a male dog wants to mark every spot. So,
Everything, yeah.
but both are an issue in trying to keep a yard looking nice, but one is less of an issue for sure.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah,
like the female urine is will kill things actually.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you just went up. You just got a backer. I should have
Wow.
waited. I should have waited.
Fantastic. Thank
Yeah.
you, whoever it is. I'm not one of those guys that's like checking, I don't have an Indiegogo page open right now, but yeah, thank you.
I do. I have
Yeah.
the open.
Well, I don't know if I want to get into that. Yeah, if it moved a little faster, I'd probably be a little more interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, who knows? We'll see if we can get some eyes on it. I think it's a great campaign. It's a great idea. It's a book. It's a magazine that feels just organic right now. It feels like CG needs something like this, something that can kind of bring everything together in the form of a magazine. So I'm going to share this with people, and then you can talk about it so people will know what we're talking, because some people might not know about the Rocket Indiegogo that's going on right this very minute. So I'm going to play the video, and then
No.
we'll get
Okay,
into it.
fine.
I love this video.
We live in an hour of change and challenge. In a decade of hope and fear. In an age of both knowledge and ignorance. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but
Because they are hard.
surely the opening vistas of space promise high cost and hardships, as well as high reward. I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goals.
Yeah. Wait, why are you playing again? Stop that.
Yeah, that's about enough of that.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig the whole concept. I think the video explains, kind of the idea behind it. This cover, I just have to say this real quick. This cracks me up, like CG's just launching Cecil out in space.
I appreciate, Art, that you get the concept. You understand the metaphor, and also, yeah, I mean that's my cover. That's the idea. And,
I think it's hilarious, and I like that Ethan's like saluting, like Cecil deserves a salute,
Honestly, I mean, let me just quickly sidebar that Donald's the guy that I could get, and I like Donald, and nobody complained about the cover to Cash Grab, so. But he did what I wanted him to do. But my favorite part of it, beyond saying, "Hey," I'll get back to the metaphor. Let's keep it the sidebar. Do it how you want. You know, I gave him some rope. My favorite part of it, Art, is probably you've got kind of a disapproving glare back there. You know, you're just like, this is what we're doing now. You know, and I didn't ask for that, but that's my favorite part of it. And,
Yeah, I hope I
yeah.
don't come across that on live streams.
No, not at all. You know, that might be why I found it so amusing. You know, it's
When I
yeah,
first saw it, I was like, why is the Colonel from the chicken place there? Like,
yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, and I've had a few people say, "Is that supposed to be you?" And I'm like, "My hair's not that good." And no, I didn't put myself on the cover. That's
yeah,
Weathers, you know. God's sakes, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But I mean, you know what it is, the video, if I may, real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Um, you know, I don't have red gazing skills. I don't have a lofty budget either. So the metaphor is, you know, the cover's a little bit based on, at least very loosely, on Darwin Cook's New Frontier. And I really, really enjoyed that series. And it came kind of at the tail end of when DC was really, really good. And it recast all the Silver Age heroes, but it did it into the turn of the space age. And, you know, it was a kind of a Brave New World type of atmosphere. I don't know. Art, you and I are both, let me put that on the record, both just slightly too young to have really lived and breathed that time. But, you know, there was like a new hope for America itself. And in this time of strife and confusion and, you know, arguing about nothing and so forth, Comicsgate comes along and puts out some really, really good books and really involves some great creators. Some, like you, towering resumes in the mainstream, some of which would have never gotten an opportunity with the mainstream. And so, I mean, in short, yeah, it's already too long to be in short, but that's kind of the metaphor, you know. And when I was picking out, I hope to do more of these magazines, and not all of them will have quite such a theme, but uh, the guys on the cover, yourself, Art, were, you know, right there at the pillars of it in 2018 that were first willing to kind of make that leap where the risks were great, but maybe the rewards would be, you know, commensurate. So
It's nothing
that's the
ventured.
overall thing, man.
You got to put it out there, see what happens. And sometimes the biggest gains are when you take the biggest risks and chances. So,
Yeah,
uh,
well, I admire how you did that. I admire how, you know, Ethan did that. I admire how John did it. I admire that Eric carved out his niche and is probably the only, I don't want to get carried away. Eric has worked on a lot of books. I
yeah.
almost said probably the only guy that's worked on more books than me is Eric. But
But the
Eric is,
real heroes are the people that are taking a chance and supporting this stuff, like
yeah,
they're putting their dollar where their mouth is, you know what I mean? And
absolutely.
that means a hell of a lot. Like my whole career, I didn't really, I kind of had an idea, but I didn't have like boots on the ground kind of, idea of how it worked and how it could work. And the last 3 years have been just a complete eye opener. Like I never knew that this could exist. You know what I mean? Like I could never even envision something like Comicsgate and just this like, we create things and take them right to the consumer. You know what I mean? Like there's no
Yeah.
middleman. It's just us and the consumer. And I never thought it was even possible. And here we are, Rocket, black and white, just doing it, it's really amazing. This has been ever since I've seen this. What is the Rocket Mission Badge Kit?
Well, it's based on, all credit to 3D Robin on this. I brought him 3D Robin did the design work and provided me with the cover logo and, you know, the interior assets, the underlays and stuff that makes the page pretty. You know, I had to put it all together and design it, but he gave me a lot of tools to do that with. And he came up with all credit to him. Rocket was intended as kind of a metaphor because you got to have, obviously you have to have a title for a magazine, but it's also really kind of boring to just have departments, features, columns. And I'm always looking for something to where I can call it something else, you know, that's ostensibly a little more clever, arguably a little more clever, But we got to talking about the design stage, and he did a lot of different variations on the logo. Some of them were much more 50s pulp, sci-fi. We went back and forth, but to answer your question, he brought to my attention how cool it was that every NASA mission had its own badge, its own patch, and how the designs were all of a similar motif, but each one of them were different. And they listed the astronauts around the band. And not only did I love it as a design idea in hopes that there would be, in fact, a mission badge 2 and a mission badge 3, of course, but it also gave me a way to kind of walk the line to where you've been incredibly gracious with your time, yourself, Art. And, John Malin has given me a lot of time. And, Eric Withers has given me a lot of time. And all of these guys have made really valuable contributions. So I want to put a cover blurb on there. But at the same time, I'm really, really leery of using somebody else's. Yeah, I mean, there was some discussion about the cover shouldn't have the creators; it should have the characters.
Well, those characters. Back up for 1 minute, Steve. Yeah. When the wife gets back, I'm going to be back in this rocket mission badge. So I'll get the one with my name on it.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, that's essentially it. That's my compromise between wanting to be like, buy my book because I've got a killer 3-hour interview with Art T. Bear that unfortunately you're only going to get the best 40 minutes of it because there's only so much room. But we talked and your name's on it,
Yeah, and that's, it was great. Yeah, I had a ton of fun. Yeah,
I didn't want to run everybody's name at 18-point or 36-point type on the cover and be like, please, if you're interested in what they're doing, maybe. But I do think anybody that's interested in the history and the process of a man with a career like yours might find a few nuggets in there that haven't even been. I know there's these live streams all the time, and you're one of the best guys it fascinates me when you talk about your previous career, and also the parallels and the differences between how it is now and how it was then. But
yeah, it's
I really like that kind of thing. So yeah, anyway, that's what the mission badge is. It's a really long answer, but naturally, I want to trumpet that I have Art T. Bear, John Malin, in this magazine. But I also am a little bit leery of I'm not trying to coattail you guys. I'm just trying to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, nobody's saying that. But so the badges are in form of stickers.
Yeah, they're in the form of stickers. I thought heavily about patches, but ultimately, I don't know. That's where you never. I'm a motocross guy. I love stickers. I got a bottom drawer in my toolbox full of stickers. I never put them on anything.
I remember as a kid, like, what was it? It was Moon, like in the 60s or 70s.
Yeah, the Moon hubcaps logo with the.
Yeah. With the eyes. I never knew what it was, but as a kid, I was like, that looks cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've been collecting racing stickers since I was like 5 or something. So it's a sticker. Damn it. That's what it is. I didn't think about an embroidered patch, but then I thought about I haven't worn a jean jacket since I was like 15. I don't know. So anyway, but that's what it is. I hope to do a few more of them, and that's my way of putting the guys that are featured. I don't know. There's your cover blurb, Art. You're right up. You're right up there in the corner of it. So
yeah, that's cool, man. It's really interesting to see your name with like Donald and then like Malin, Weathers, and then Dick.
Yeah. Well,
I love that we actually know, Steve. We know somebody that's comfortable with referring to himself as a D-I-C-K.
Yeah. I think it's great. Yeah. And yeah, if you don't like it, then that was 3 Robin's idea. But if you do like it, I thought it was hilarious. So I was like, yes, let's do that.
No, I dig it. It. Yeah. And so, I'm going to be back in that rocket mission badge kit for sure when Pamela gets back. So just to also, you guys, this is it's a magazine. It's like a wizard magazine. That's the quickest pitch way we can describe it. And so Steve's at 5,395. So he's a little bit over the fixed goal, but these things take I mean, that probably doesn't even cover printing right now. So we need to get this thing a lot higher, 132 backers, and we're only 14 hours left. Is that 14 hours of the first 30, Steve?
I'm on my first 30, and I'm really struggling with. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you mentioning that this is. I mean, it was originally earmarked at 120 pages, and it has burst at the seam a little bit. And I'm not going to cut corners on the weight of the paper or the cover stock or any of this. So it's going to cost a little bit to actually produce and get out there. And I'd certainly like to run that number up a bit higher. I haven't decided if I'm going to extend it for a brief time or not. The
Well,
problem
Steve,
that I have, I'd be
yeah,
interested in any feedback on this. This is maybe a little inside baseball for the public show, but I don't know. Maybe the people in the chat have an opinion.
yeah. For
I
what
feel,
it's worth, Steve, I think I'm pretty confident if you did another 30, you could double that number. So you could be, like 10,000, 11,000. And that's me being conservative right now. And I know that the printing at that amount, you might just be breaking even as far as, paying out your shipping and your printing of the book. So,
it's relatively tough sledding right now. And yeah, if I doubled it up, that would certainly make this being a continued endeavor quite a bit more viable.
yeah, because
So yeah, I am struggling with, at the same time, to be clear, I don't. The basic premise for this is to be a periodical and to be kind of a rotating. I mean, I got my favorite guys and the first guys in this first one, but if I can do some more, then I'm going to continue with the motif of rotating the talent. I think there's any number of features out there, and have more people involved in the next one, more people involved in the next one. But yeah, I need to get the numbers up a little bit on the one hand, and on the other hand, I want to get this one out there. I mean, I don't think that I'm that very successful as an entertainer on live streams. I do what I can, but my skills lend themselves more to it's like one of those you got a face for radio and a voice for print media type of situations. Anyway, I don't want to. This thing, I should be pretty clear too that it's done. I mean, it's. I might jigger with just a couple of things in what time I have left, but it's ready to go to the presses. And if I want to establish a track record that if you buy this one, I'm going to get you another one pretty soon with a different group of creators. And if you're interested in the process of making these books, this might be of interest to you.
Yeah.
So I gotta get this one out before I can go on to the next one. At the same time, yeah, it'd be nice to get this number up a little bit. I may have overestimated the number of people that share my interest in how the sausage is made. I don't know.
No, I think it's just exposure. It's getting the word out. Let me come back because I feel like I need to kind of say this where people could see. I've been doing this for a long time. I've worked on books, Steve, that were absolutely amazing. Like books that one was it was actually Deathstroke the Terminator. And I usually is so jaded, like I don't even read the books I do. You know what I mean? Like I just do so many books from Marvel, DC. I get them and I just I look through them real quick and then just put them, on a stack. But this book, I read the first issue and I was intrigued. I read the next one and I was like, wow, this is really good. But it was written in a different way. It was written that it built to a reveal. And modern take is like you have like the big moment and then you backpedal as far as storytelling. You kind of like, well, how did we get here? Kind of stuff. And the thing is, I mean, how would Star Wars be if you already saw the Death Star blow up and then you had to get
see it blow up and then they say 6 months before?
Yeah.
It's
like you don't want. I like stories that kind of build. Like they start small and then they just kind of keep building. One of my favorite movies of all time is Big Trouble in Little China. And he says it right at the beginning when he's talking to what is the little Asian guy? I forget the guy who was driving the bus. He was
Short
like,
Round?
oh my gosh, what was his name? But anyways,
Is it Short Round? Or am I thinking of Indiana Jones?
yeah.
Or should I not even say that on the air?
Uh, my gosh, I'm horrible with names. But anyway, so the opening scene is he's talking to his insurance guy, like this lawyer guy, and so he's explaining like how his bus got destroyed, how China got all like messed up and everything. And so then that guy's like, "You expect me to believe this?" He goes, "But it didn't start out that way. It started off small. That's how these things start." And then he just kind of does that little lightning bolt between his hands, and then he kind of expands it. And then it's like, yeah, that's the metaphor. That's the kind of story. Egg Shen, thank you. Yes. Yeah, Egg Shen is a great character. And so I always like that. I like that like you keep building and revealing stuff, and then like where you start isn't where you end, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so this story was kind of like that. Like if you guys want, like go buy that, issue 1 on, I think it's the first year we worked on. Go get that book because it reads.
Who was the author? Are you talking? That was like 05, 06. Are you talking about that run? Something like that.
It was the New 52 run.
All right, so a little later than that.
Yeah, and it got there was a bunch of other people that started working on it after, and I just think it just
I've got some of those that you worked on.
But anyway,
my filing cabinet drawer gets stuck, and I can't remember. Yeah.
I always take forever to make my point, but where I'm going with it is that I felt it took longer to build an audience, right? Doing it this way, it takes longer to build an audience. And with modern day publishing, nobody wants that. They want everything to be instantly a success.
Sure.
And if it isn't, they discard it. And my thing is, like with Marvel and DC and other people, like film does this too. Like how many times have you saw a great film and then it just doesn't do well in the box office? And you're like, what the hell? This is a great movie. Like, why did it not succeed? And then you realize it just didn't do gangbusters at the beginning. It was a harder sell. It took more time for people to understand it. It wasn't what everything else is, right? They couldn't immediately put it in this box. So it was a harder sell. And I always think like these publishing companies, these film companies, and just people in general, anything that's outside of the box, you guys, anything that's truly original and unique is a harder sell. It just is. It is always going to be because it is different. It doesn't fit into this category. It doesn't fit into this category. So my thing is stuff like Rocket, things that are different, like Chrono Mechanics, like things that are kind of struggled a little bit. It's not always the product. Sometimes it's just exposure. It's just like getting behind it. Like if DC would have got behind Terminator Deathstroke, you know what I mean? If they would have truly believed in it and they would have promoted it, who knows where it would have gone? You know what I mean? Like these movies, instead of like going, okay, the weekend box office was shitty, instead of doubling down and going, we need to increase the budget, the advertising budget. We need to get out in front of this. This movie's so great. Everybody needs to see it. They just let it go. You know what I mean? They let it die. And the reason I'm telling you this, Steve, don't let it die, man. This is a great product, man. Get out in front of it. Scream it from the top of the roofs, the highest cliff, and just tell people this book is incredible. What you're doing is great for the fandom. I was surprised that nobody had done this sooner, in Comicsgate. I know there was people talking, but you know what? You walk the walk, you talk the talk. You weren't just talking about it. You actually freaking did it. Like you said, the book is done. The book is done right now. We just need to fund this son of a bitch.
from your lips to God's ears on that whole thing. Yeah.
Or to the chat.
Thank you, Art.
We can get it to the chat. The chat's right here, man.
Please. Yeah. No, I appreciate it. It's a little bit it has I developed a whole other magazine, and I don't really want to particularly talk about that because that turned into a whole debacle. But you know, it was in the zeitgeist. It is curious how if you catch the wave at the right time, and at this, you know, maybe I caught the wave at the wrong time, and I just got to paddle out a little farther, you know, to extend that metaphor. Um, you know, there's certain. I've been involved with an awful lot of books, and some of those people have been very generous in their support, and some of them, okay. Um, but yeah, you know, I already did one magazine from the ground up because people were talking about it. It was in the air, even in, you know, in 19, certainly, maybe even in 18, it was in the air. So I developed one, and that came to an untimely end for circumstances entirely beyond my control that I've got to just forget about. But that's what I've done with this, is regrouped and put together another one that I think is a much better effort.
I think it's great. The metaphor is cool. I like the insignia, and I imagine everybody that's involved with the book, that will change, right? So
Yeah. That's the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
If we get to do another one, yeah, it'll be a, you know, and I'm certainly, you've been very encouraging. You know, Billy Tucci has indicated that he'd be in the next one, and you know, Dan Fragus said he'd be in the next one. That kind of encouragement, you know, I mean, that means a lot to me, to be sure. When I've got guys that I would love to have in there saying, yeah, I'll be in it. So
yeah, it's the
so
loudest
yeah,
voice,
I'll make it go.
it's the loudest voice because, you know, like where I was going is it could be the best thing in the world, but if nobody knows about it, it's not going to go anywhere. So the hardest thing, because I really sympathize with you, because on some level, I'm wired the same way. Like I like to hide behind things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I think that's why, you know, I like to tell stories. I like to write. I like to draw, but that's the forefront. You know what I mean? That's the
yeah,
show. Those are the main guys.
yeah,
But inking, you know, I can be a little bit more behind the scenes. I can support. I can kind of help along. I can do these things. And even when I played music, like I liked being the drummer because I was the loudest, or I could be the loudest thing, you know, without effort.
right.
But I was behind everybody. You know what I mean? So I could kind of see what was going on, and you know, I could be the focus when I wanted to be, but then I could play back as well. But I wasn't that singer. You know what I mean? I wasn't that guitar player that was out in front. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because I think some I'm just kind of not wired that way, but I'm switching over. You know what I mean? Like I'm I'm
right, yeah.
I'm realizing that if black and white is going to succeed, or if Chrono Mechanics is going to do gangbusters, I got to get out there, man, because the only chance this has is this big mouth of mine. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, yeah, I've no doubts that you're correct, and yeah, my recent experience, again, I think that in at least to some extent, you know, I did try to do it as the guy behind the scenes, and again, I feel pretty confident that most people that have bought a few books in this market, you got one that I worked on, you know, so. Um,
Well, Steve,
But
Steve,
I probably need to get up on my soapbox and be a bit more of a carnival barker, I
yeah,
suppose. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yell,
I just
yell
don't
at
think I'm any good at it. You're entertaining, Art. I
Ah,
can listen to you every morning tell your stories.
I
You
work
know?
on it, man. I work
Yeah,
on it. Yeah. But the
yeah.
thing is, you just went up. You just got another backer. So you got two backers
Wow,
during this live stream.
fantastic.
So people are digging what you're doing. They're appreciating it. And
Thank you very
like I said,
much.
you guys, everything that you're seeing right now in CG, it's just the tip of the iceberg, man. You know, everything that's talked behind the scenes. I'm sure Steve is privy to some of these things. Um, this is the tip of the iceberg. So comic books, you know, Ethan's doing toys now. I'm in talks with doing like possibly cartoon shows of black and white, you know, and then Steve's got, you know, a magazine that is going to, you know, put focus on CG, like stories that you guys have never heard before. You know, that's what these magazines can do. And the thing about, like when I was interviewed by Steve does his research. So some of the stuff that comes out in these interviews, nobody else is talking about. Like you're going to get like, first run information about, the process of these different creators, all this stuff. So, he's the Barbara Walters of CG. He'll get right to it, he'll ask the hard questions.
That was so complimentary. I'm just going to go with the characterization. Thanks, Hard.
Yeah, I don't mean that you're very, feminine in your approach. But let's face it, there wasn't a lot of femininity about Barbara Walters.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
She's a man, baby.
Well, I mean, again, I can't overstate, although I possibly do, how much of a pleasure it is to get guys like you and Malin and Weathers and just talk to them one-on-one, and for that matter, to stumble up and down the beach walk with Cecil, talking to him one-on-one over drinks. It's a really cool opportunity to get into some of the things that I don't hear about,
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's definitely what I'm trying to do. And I also want to point out real quick, I don't want to just pitch it like crazy, even though you're telling me that's what I need to do. Part and parcel of it is that I've got the main feature pieces on the guys on the cover, but I've got a nice Q&A with say Narwhal, and I've got a preview of his next book in there. I've got a nice Q&A with Phil from the Diaz brothers. I've got some Lost pages in there. I've got previews and excerpts from Testament, from Chimera, and Vault Cobalt's Havoc. I think is a really, really good book, and it did have a novella next to it, and not enough people saw that. So, I also want to diffuse the spotlight a little bit and shine some light on, there's so much stuff going on. There's so many new campaigns. I used to know everything, and now I think it's impossible to know everything. So, again, it's envisioned as an ongoing concern. It's a bit of a rotating door for talent.
But that's why you need to do multiple books. That's why we need to fund this, and we need to, start out small. We'll get this book, done. We'll get it financed. I really do think you should do another 30, and then just keep building, because I don't know if this metric is completely correct, because things change constantly. But they said usually your second campaign will do better than your first. So once you put this out, people know that you're going to fulfill, that they can trust you, all that stuff. Then that's a solid foundation that you can build on for the next book, and so on and so forth. So don't get too discouraged, because these things are tough, man. Like dreams, creating things out of nothing. I shouldn't say nobody, but it's hard to get support. You know what I mean? It's really hard. But these things, these little seedlings, if they can be nurtured, they can turn into monsters. Look at my dog. Like, they can be turned into huge successes. So Eric the Guapo has a question. So this is for you, Steve. What is it about? Is it a magazine like Wizard was, or is it like Heavy Metal magazine? So
I would say that it leans towards the former, but it's somewhat in the middle. There are some complete short stories. There's also some excerpts and again previews of unreleased work. But there's certainly some sequential art in there, and it's that brackets the long form interviews that I've done with Art and the others. So there's some of both. If an interesting part of that question is that something that I would like to have is anthologized stories, but
that could be
fun. Let's make this a proven concept and get to where we can do more than one before we start one that we can't finish.
Say these things, because this is where people, we're dreaming big, Steve. Yeah. So I mean, little backup stories or comic strips, even Wizard, played with some of that stuff. So you could do that. What else I was thinking is there's a thing I've been playing with, an idea I've been playing with the chat. So there's a character like a mascot, Hashtag Studios mascot Inko. And so one of the things we were joking about is an Inko Awards. So
Yeah.
if we wouldn't do this, we would do this tongue in cheek. If we would not be doing this in any serious fashion, because I don't put much stock in awards. I think they're all kind of like the industry giving the industry awards. So we would do it as in the form of kind of like mocking, awards. But what I was thinking is the award could be the Golden Inko, right? So the Golden Inko could be the award, and we could do it annually. And what we could do, I don't put much stock in it, but Wizard had these awards. So with your magazine, because the good thing about the magazine is you can do polls in your magazine. You know what I mean? So you could put a poll in there and say, who do you nominate for Inko Awards? And then we'll have all kinds of bullshit categories. You know what I mean? Like I don't want it to be taken seriously, like the best toe thumbs in the industry. You know what I mean? Like in CG.
I'm totally in. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
And then we could do like best hair. And that would be like, obviously Eric Weathers would win that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got that. Yeah, but yeah, absolutely.
Oldest person in CG.
I don't know, Art.
And the Inko goes to Art T. Bear.
I don't know.
What you're
pretty sure you have competition.
Well, I think Graham Nolan. I think he's maybe 4 or 6 months younger than I am. So, yeah. So we got.
Let's just gloss over that.
we got some fans of Stephen Dye here. So hey, Art, yo, Steve.
User.
Yeah, most letter. Yeah, we would. They would just be bullshit, you guys. Like we would not be taking this seriously.
I think we start with a series of nominations for what the categories would be, and then suggest your categories
on categories.
Because most letterer and best hair, then he gets 2 trophies. Maybe we can put it both on the same one.
And so obviously everybody would vote for Eric, and he'd get an award. Award.
Well deserved. I like it. I think it could easily become. If not as prestigious as you got a Wizard Award, dude, that's something else to me, But I mean, it used to be that an Eisner was something, but now they're giving I don't want to get too far off in the territory of who they're giving Eisners to now, but I think the Inko could easily become the most prestigious award in all the comics. We should do it.
Comicsgate, yeah. It would definitely be coveted. Like I said, I think it would be because one of the things we're talking about is a Comicsgate con as well. Yeah. So could you imagine these personalities, all these YouTube personalities, these CG, YouTube personalities in an award ceremony?
Let's have a banquet.
Yeah. So the thing is, I think it would be like the trifecta. So then we would have the magazine, that could promote it. I mean, we would all promote it, but that would actually put the ad, and then they would, just like Wizard, you'd fill it out, and then you would vote in your guys, and then we would have the Rocket sponsored Inko Awards, at the con. It could be the Rocket Awards, but the award would be.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think the Inko. I like that. Yeah, I'd rather collab, Art. Let's make it the Inko, but
either way,
totally run the poll. That'd be great.
The early stages, so it could be the Rocket, CG Rocket Awards. And then the Inko could be, what people will get as far as
the Inko, that could be the award. Yeah.
So anyways, I think. Wait, no, best hair, Dan Frega.
Somehow I think Eric's coming at this from a point of view.
I think we could do best bald shaped head. That could be a category.
Yeah, I'd be in on that. He's got an impressive dome.
I think best hair beard combo would have to be you, Steve.
I don't think I'm eligible.
I've been playing like with just because at times I'd shave, and the sides. And I just try to do the what is it, like soul patch idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me, man.
I don't know. I used to run more your routine, and then I shaved it all off. And then I was like, so I I haven't seen my chin in some time.
I think it's the combination, the hair and the beard, and they match perfectly. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Eric is like he's splitting hairs here with me.
Yeah.
He's saying
See,
facial hair is still hair, Art.
I had a feeling Eric was coming at it from a certain viewpoint, but yeah, that's Eric's right. Eric's right.
Eric's always got an angle. You know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
always
yeah.
got an angle. Yeah. I saw. Oh, Aaron Lepresti's in the chat. Yes, the CG awards go to Art. All of them go to me. Yeah, the Eisners are an effing joke. Like,
Yeah.
I had dinner with a guy that had just won an Eisner Award. He was insufferable. Holy shit! Like it was like his first or second book. He just hit all the he played all the cards, right? Like, because it's pretty much to predict. You can predict how to get an Eisner, right? You can play
Sure.
the voting group there. And so usually, you know, politics or some kind of social messaging, you know, stuff like that. So my wife and I had dinner. It was a group of people, but this guy, you know, was the guy that just won for whatever category. Holy shit, Steve. You should have heard him go on and how great he was. And I'm thinking, there are people at this table that have 25, 30-year careers, and they're not talking the way you're talking. This guy was a complete blowhard, man.
Yeah. Ego properly inflated, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, like, to each his own. You know, I try not to judge. Let me see what Joe says here. Inko, the brown Inko, the shiny color, the most SJW award Marvel. We could do the brown Inko award. We could do the golden Inko.
Yeah.
The golden Inko sounds more prestigious, I think. The best vertical lines. Yeah, we could have all kinds of bullshit categories.
Yeah, these are all good suggestions. Again, yeah, I think we need a nomination for the categories type of thing first. You know,
yeah, we could do that too. You could put that up in your magazine, like best bullshit categories, and let people vote what categories they like. Yeah. Tank Ferret, how you doing, man? Welcome to the chat. People are welcoming Aaron Lepresti in. Aaron Lepresti has Wraith of God that's in demand right now. You guys should check that out. So this is the order of the backing, okay, for today. We back Black and White, okay, first, then Rocket, and then Wraith of God.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Wraith of God looks great. Yeah, everybody should go back, Aaron, on that. It's a really cool project.
Let's see. Devil Flyer says, backer 983 Art will be backing Rocket and Eric's book soon. Whoa! Yes, exactly, man. That's how the shite works. Well, let me go back. I should have opened 2 tabs so I could monitor your progress here, Steve. But yeah, Rocket is at 5,454. You got 133 backers. You got 2 backers during this live stream, and you are 14 hours away. Please, Steve, roll this over to another 30 days. I do believe you'll be able to double that number, if not, you know, more. And we'll keep getting the word out, man, because it's a great.
Definitely make it a lot more. Yeah. Yeah, it was it was a lot of work, you know. I started with 120 blank pages, and then you know, so I mean, who am I not to take your learned advice, Art? You certainly have more experience in these matters, but you know, I am eager. It is finished, and I would like to get it out there and let people see what it is. You know, so that's the only thing that trips me up a little bit, but.
Well, the pages.
I'm leaning towards what you had to say.
Yeah, well, good. The pages that you show on your site, they look really impressive. And this is just the beginning, you guys. Like we were just creating stuff that could be in the magazine right here, just spitballing. This is just throwing stuff out, just in a life.
Yeah.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine?
There's a couple of these ideas that I'm
Yeah,
in. Yeah. Yeah.
go. It definitely. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. And Aaron, okay, I got to explain this. I hope you didn't take what I said to you this morning seriously. So I asked Aaron, I was like, I got to get out and promote some black and white stuff. And so he's like, yeah, I got this guy coming on. And then he said, I have some drawing streams, but the only way I'll let you on is you have to do some work. You have to draw on my live stream. And then I was just like, this is Aaron's sense of humor. And then I said, nope. I said, you're not the boss of me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be on Aaron's later today. Maybe not. You guys will just have to tune into Aaron's live stream and find out. All right, man. Steve, it's always a blast hanging out with you. The magazine.
All right, thanks so much for your time. Always, man.
No problem. You know what? I'm gonna put another. I didn't put it in the description, so I'll put it in the chat here for you. So this is a link to Rocket. So you guys click on that, especially if you've already backed black and white. Yeah, then you're in the clear.
Yeah,
so go back Rocket, and then if you feel like it, go back Wraith of God. In that order. All right,
sounds
Steve.
good.
Well, continued success, and we'll keep promoting this. You guys, with your social media, try to get out there. If you like what you've seen with Rocket, promote it. If you like what you've seen with black and white, shout outs are always, they're free. They don't cost you anything, but they really, really do help. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy your day, and I'll talk to you soon.